Alright, we have left the Bahamas and entered the waters of Turks and Caicos and Dominican Republic. It is time to remove our courtesy flag.
Sad day when you have to take down a Bahamas flag.
We don't know if it's a sad day. We're on to new adventures.
You're right. It's not sad, but
It is progress.
it's change. More change.
Scary change, because we know habla español.
Yeah. Mi habla español un poquito. So, goodbye Bahamas. For now, turn again and use this flag again. But until then, we gotta switch to a Q flag.
Thank you, Scott and Callie, for our Bahamas flag. It's been super handy 2 years in a row. We'll see if Andrea remembers to get the carabiner off of it. Oh, look at that.
Q flags.
The Q flag tells a country that we are entering under quarantine and that we will not leave the boat until we've completed the proper documentation to be checked into the country and allowed off of the vessel. That includes paying duties and customs, clearing immigration, and paying any taxes or fees that are owed upon entry. If you enter a country's waters without your Q flag, it can be considered espionage. So it is important that you follow protocol so that you don't have to face jail time. There was a news story during COVID where some sailors crossed into British waters on an American flagged vessel with a couple tourists, and they were detained and I believe imprisoned for several months. Now mind you, that's a US ally. Imagine crossing over into waters where you weren't on good terms.
There it is.
Q flag is raised. We are, I believe, within, or outside of 3 miles of a sovereign nation. So we are legal.
We are on approach to the Dominican Republic, entering into Luperon. And I just want to take a little clip here to show you our first views. Dramatically different than the Bahamas. Mountains and lots of trees.
Lots of green.
Lots of green. And you could smell the foliage from quite a ways out. We were about 8 miles out from shore, and I started being able to smell the island, which is an interesting experience.
It smells like pine salt.
Yeah, it smells like pine salt instead of salt. Pretty neat stuff. And on the other side, let me shift over to the other side of the sails. There's all sorts of wind generators off in the distance. Lots of deep water here. You see the dark blue instead of all the different varying shades like the Bahamas. beautiful day. All right, catch you later.
We wound our way into Luperon Bay, paying close attention to the navigation buoys. Once inside the mooring field, we were greeted by a fellow sailor, Steve, on his boat, Little Sister. He explained to us that today was a Sunday, followed by a national holiday, and everything was closed, and the Navy would not be coming out to our boat. So he recommended we just pick up any open mooring ball and go on in town and make ourselves at home until everything opened up. He even loaned us some pesos so that we could get some food because no one took US dollars. Thank you, Steve, for being an awesome human being and the best welcome committee we could ever ask for. After we got settled in on our mooring ball, we took the dinghy into town and found ourselves some amazing food thanks to our friend Steve and his loan of pesos, and restaurant recommendation as to who would actually be open for us to enjoy a meal at. And boy, did these two tired and hungry sailors greatly appreciate it all. So as you're coming into Luperon, there are two brand spanking new dinghy docks that have been built here. And the first dinghy dock you come to is designated as the cruiser's dinghy dock. The second dinghy dock that you come to is for the fishermen. So don't use the second one, only the first one if you're coming here as a cruiser. You get off the dinghy dock and you make your way down the pier, and at the end of the pier here you'll find Immigration Customs. But make sure you don't leave your boat until you've checked in with the Navy. They've come by your boat. And if you leave your boat beforehand, Richard, the commandant, will not be happy with you. You're supposed to fly your Q flag until they come over. And then once they've cleared you in, then you can make your way to this first dinghy dock and make your way down this pier and visit the Customs and Immigration Office. At the end of this, it's just real nice setup. You get custom, immigration, agriculture, all boom, 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 right in a row on the harbor fees. So it's about $75 to check in, $30 in harbor fees, and then just $10 more in agricultural fees, and you're checked into the country. Not too bad. And gets you 30 days here to spend and enjoy the Dominican Republic. So up here is the offices I mentioned earlier. This first one you come to is agriculture. The second building is immigration, customs, and the harbor master. And you go into immigration first. The gentleman that works in there is Marcos, and he's learning English. Does quite well, but it always helps a lot if you can speak some Spanish, especially the words for documentations and things of that nature. So you'll need your boat documentation, your passport, and your documentation of where you cleared out last to be able to check in. It's very important. And so leaving the immigration and customs area, if you walk down past the I Love Luperon and go to your left or izquierda, you can find the office for the Navy. If by chance Richard and his guys don't make it out to your boat, you can come to this office. When we first arrived, it was a Sunday followed by a national holiday, so no one was here. So we did actually come directly here to this office and check in that way. And then Richard followed up and came by our boat the next Tuesday that everybody was back at work. But this is also where you go to check out, whether you're just leaving the harbor or leaving the country. You have to come here and check out with the commandant, Richard, and his guys, and they have to give you approval and a despacho.
It is Monday, February 27th, and it is the Dominican Republic's Independence Day. So they've had parades this morning and festivities. So we actually checked in on Sunday, and we finished our clearing in today. And now it is time for the honorary quarantine removal and raising of the courtesy flag for the new nation that we've entered, the Dominican Republic.
Flag to flag.
Removing of the Q flag signifies that we've been cleared in and that we are welcome. And the raising of the courtesy flag is customary to show that we are guests of the country and under the protection of the country. The Dominican flag goes blue side up. It would be like raising the American flag upside down and would not send the right message.
Yeah, gotta make sure you raise the flag up. What a day. What a day to be able to switch the flag to the Dominican.
Yes, celebrating with our wonderful hosts. Viva la Revolucion.
And there it is, new country.
New country.